page 42.
okay, will actually be more than or equals to
order to eventually have enough buses. Right? And then to solve this inequality, we take 520 divided by 45. Such that we get actually the same answer. Okay, we see that it is 11 and 5/9. Maybe let's do it. Right, so then based on this inequality itself, so based on the inequality, we can form a number line, understand it, whereby we are looking at more than or equals to, so close circle, pointing to the right. So in order to satisfy this inequality, it must be here. You want to share a conversation? Okay, so because of the inequality, to satisfy it, it needs to be more than or equals to 11 and 5/9. So the least number of buses that we need must be inside here. It must be a whole number, and therefore, minimum number of buses will be equals to 12. Okay, so we chose 12 not because of round off, but because of the fact that it satisfies the inequality. Take away when we are solving problems involving linear inequalities. Is it possible in this question for us to determine the maximum number of buses? We can just infinite number of buses, but actually we got 500 students here. I mean, we can have many buses. Okay, even a number, technically yes. Okay, just that you have, if you have 521 buses, then you have one bus that's not filled up. Yeah. So logically speaking, the maximum buses that you need is 520. Okay, but you can have more than that. Just that your access will have no students inside. Okay, you cannot like break one arm, break one leg, and then at the bus, right? Then your student go to whatever venue, okay, in the Mr. Potato form. You don't know what's Mr. Potato, right? Huh? You never watch Toy Story? Toy Story 1, 2, 3, as in 3 is in show some more. Yeah, Mr. Potato that can detach the arms, nose, everything one. Especially when he gets surprised and everything falls out. No? Okay, let's look at another example. Okay, we look at example 6. Also on your textbook, page 42. Okay, hence it is higher, so I will write the whole question, but I'll write the main parts. show the inequality solving process itself. Alright? So let's look at work example 6. I have taken out the key points in the question, but if you're in your textbook, page 42, textbook, page 42, okay, open your textbook, page 42. If you don't read the question and expect me to always break it down for you, okay, then you'll be like my secretaries, right? You cannot understand the question all the time. Right? And then, or your homework, you always encounter the same problem, okay? Because you don't know how to break down a question. So it says that Ali's car consumes petrol at an average rate of 8 liters daily. Okay, so this is a critical information. Before Ali begins his journey, he tops up the petrol in his car to 100 liters. So there is 100 liters of petrol in the car. That's what he started with. Okay, then given that there must be at least 15 liters of petrol, okay, in the car, in the tank at all times, right? We want to form an inequality and solve it to find the maximum number of days he can travel before he has to top up the petrol in his car. So we do the similar process, okay, as per what we did in practice now 5. First, we need to define the variable. So we look at the question itself. What does it want us to find? What is the quantity that it wants us to find? The number of days, the maximum number of days, right? Okay, so we will let the unknown x be the number of days. Okay, in fact, to be precise, it is the number of days before he has to top up. Right? So we form that sentence first, define the variable. Okay? So whether it's a maximum or minimum or not, that one we will figure out later on after we solve the inequality. Okay, just like the previous question, we can identify the minimum after we solve it. Right? So now, how do I form the inequality itself? The question says that it started off with 100 liters. Okay, and each day it is actually spending 8 liters. So for one day itself, okay, it will be 8 liters. For X number of days, it will be 8 times X liters being consumed. Right? Okay, so the amount of petrol left inside the tank, right, will always be 100 liters minus away what is being spent. Correct? You started with 100 liters. After one day, you will minus away 8 liters. After 2 days, you minus away another 8. After X days, you will minus away 8 times X. You agree with this? So this is the amount of petrol left inside the tank. And the question said that the amount of petrol left inside the tank needs to be at least 15 liters. So when you see the word at least, what is the inequality sign that comes to your mind? More than or equals to. Do we agree? Okay? Because at least it will be more than or equals to. Okay? So whenever we form our inequality, you need to be able to ensure that on both sides they are referring to the same thing. Because over here I was trying to form an expression for the amount of petrol left inside the tank. Okay, and 15 liters is also the amount of petrol being left. Okay, but that is the minimum. So that's how we form the inequality. Any questions at this juncture? Yes? Yes, but I don't think that is very natural. Okay? But nothing wrong, because eventually when we solve it, okay, so in our next step, when we want to solve, how do we solve this inequality? Let's say we pick someone, get ready. See? Last one standing. Let's see, you're right, of course. Can you solve for me this inequality? What will you do next? Okay, otherwise, based on what Hansha was saying just now, you can also bring the AX over, but after that you require a shift. Okay, so 15 minus 100, that gives us 85, right? Negative 85, right? Okay, then what next? Let's see, let's finish that. Okay, negative 85 divided by negative 8, and then what is the inequality sign? Less than or equals to. Right? Because we divided by a negative number, so your inequality sign is flipped. Okay, and that results in 10 and 5 over 8. Okay. So with 10 and 5 over 8, we can draw our number line, although it's not necessary, not compulsory, because the question didn't ask for it. But drawing a number line can really help us in terms of visualizing this question itself, the inequality. This is what we get. Okay, and it makes sense to us that we can find a maximum. Okay, can we find a minimum? Not so much because it goes on forever. Okay, so it makes sense to this question that the question asks us to find maximum. Okay, so the inequality will be correct. So therefore, your maximum number of days what would that be equals to? I see your faces all like stony one. Okay, I call another name. Lucas up. I think Joshua was over. Okay, Joshua, can you tell me maximum number of days is? And do we all agree? And yes, great, thank you. Okay, questions? Right. So whenever we're solving inequality question, actually if you have an awareness about what the question is asking and what you eventually get, you should be able to rectify your answer if you realize that you made a wrong inequality. For example, if at the start, instead of forming 100 minus 8x more than or equals to 15, if you get 100 minus 8x less than or equals to 15 instead, and then you proceed to solve similarly, just do a quick one. If you do this set of working, and then you get x more than or equals to 10 and 5 over 8, and the question asks for maximum, does it make sense that we have such an inequality? It doesn't, because how does this look like as a number line? It will look something like that, more than or equals to, pointing to the right. And we know that with this number line, I can never find a maximum. Right? Okay? So it only makes sense that I get a minimum when I get an inequality like that. So it contradicts the question itself. Okay, so what you need to do instead is that if you realize that this is the situation you're facing, it doesn't make sense to the question, then you go back and then change all your inequality signs to the other side. Okay, then it will make sense to the question already. Right? So you need to solve a problem by having an awareness about what the question is asking. Okay, and have awareness about your answer. There's no point if you just try to copy and paste what I've been doing, or try to memorize that maximum means that the sign must be like that, minimum means the sign must be like that. There's really no point in trying to memorize the process formula. You need to have that awareness about what you're doing. Okay, there's no one fixed way of answering a question all the time. Okay? Any questions? Alright, we look at another one. Okay, let's take a look at practice now 6. for grade A is 75. Okay, Joy managed to achieve an average of grade A for 3 science quizzes. Okay, and then the question is asking, what is the minimum mark? That she scored in her first quiz. If she scored 76 and 89 for the second and third quiz. Okay. In this question, what should we let our x be? Let's find someone. B. Now, who is the slowest? Ethan, you made a decision. Because you back there, what you can see everybody standing on the front of you. Now, who was the slowest?
What I know?
Okay. Kaylin?
It was.
Let X be what? Yes. Let X be. We refer to the question. Yes.
Wait, is it like the mark for the first quiz?
It's okay, let X be the mark she scored for the first quiz. Alright, because that is what we want to find, alright? So we will let X be that. Okay? Then we need to form our inequality. Okay? So question says that the minimum mark for grade A is 75 and the average for grade A for and she achieved an average of grade A for 3 science quizzes. So there are 3 science quizzes. What is average actually? Okay, we take the total then divide by 3, right? Okay, so that is what our understanding of average is going to be. Although we will redefine this meaning of average at the end of the year when we look at statistics. Okay, so it is a total, okay, of the 3 quizzes. Your first quiz, this 76 marks and this 89 marks. So we will have x plus 76 plus 89 divide by 3 and that will be the average. Okay, and because the criteria to get a grade A is to get a minimum of 75. Okay, so if this is being compared against 75, alright, what is the inequality sign that we should be using? Since the question says minimum. So this average itself, should it be more than or equals to, less than or equals to, or more than, less than? What do you think?
More than or equals to.
How many of you think more than? Who thinks more than or equals to? Who thinks less than? Who thinks less than or equals to? Okay, it's more than or equals to 1. Right, because minimum, right? That has the same idea as at least. It means you need to get more than or equals to this. Right, then how do we solve this? Okay, let's get someone to solve this. Colors have right on the green. Okay, not just a green one. Trixie. I think Xavier too. Xavier, how do we solve this? Tell me what to write this. Let's divide by 3 on both sides. Move the 3 over, so that's 3 on both sides. Okay? So 75 times 3 is 150 plus 75. what would it be? Xavier, let's finish this up. What's the answer? Yes, 60. Thank you. Okay. Questions? Alright. Next, we look at practice style 7. If not answered or unanswered. Okay. So it says that Raju completed 19 questions. And scored above 32. We want to find the minimum number of correct answers. Okay, so what shall we let X be in this case? Let's choose Ethan. Asher.
Sorry.
Let X be what? Yes, very good. Let X be the number of correct answers. Okay, then how do we form the inequality? Right? I think I need your brains to warm up a little. I'll give you 3 minutes with work on this question. Try to see if you can form the inequality. Think about the context. Okay, and then there are 19 questions. So if X is the number of correct answers, how many points does he get? Okay, and how many questions are actually wrong? Right, so these are my hints to you. Okay, how many questions are wrong? How many marks, points got? Did he get awarded or deducted? Right? So think about this question, okay, and then try to form your own inequality. Okay, I give you 3 minutes to do that. Right? Okay. Do we have some idea? Right? Look at the first question I gave you. How many questions did he get wrong? 19 minus x. Are we able to realize that? Why is it 19 minus x? Because he only answered how many questions? 19. Okay? And then x is actually defined to be the number of correct already. So 19 minus only x will have to be the wrong answers. Understand? Okay? So 19 minus x. Answer to continue our working. I'll write purple. So let x be the number of correct answers. Okay, and 19 minus x will be the number of wrong answers. mean if he get X number of questions correct, how many points should we get? 3x. Okay, so 3x is the number of points that he got awarded, right? Okay, and then how many points did he get deducted for? Okay, so there are 90 minus x wrong answers, right? So how many points he had gotten deducted? Let's find someone. Colin, why not you give a try? If he got one answer wrong, how many points will he get deducted? 90 minus x wrong answer, as in 90 minus x points get deducted, is it? Okay, yes. So because 1 point is deducted for each wrong answer, so minus will be 1 times 90 minus x, right? Or just 90 minus x lah. Okay, but we must put the brackets around it. Okay, so this expression over here is actually how many points he actually received at the end. You understand? Okay, so this expression is for number of points received. Okay, we don't need to actually consider the no points being awarded because it doesn't have any impact at all. Okay, so this number of points received, what is it actually being compared to? The question told us that he scored above 32. So what inequality should I do? What inequality sign should I do? I should put more than, right? Okay, have more than 32. Okay, understand? Right? Then after that we proceed to solve. So we open up our brackets right here. So 3x minus away 19 plus x more than 32. And this will give us 4x minus 19 on the left. And we have 4x more than 31. Right? Then we divide by 4 on both sides. Such that we see x is greater than 12 and 3/4. Or you can write 12.75, that's fine as well. Okay, then from here, what will be the minimum number of correct answers? So I'll put it here. So what's the minimum number of correct answers? Common. Better keep calling this point first. What's the minimum number of correct answers? Sorry? 13. Is it? Okay? Yes. So if you draw a number line, think about it. We're looking at more than, so open circle pointing to the right. Okay, and the minimum that we can observe from the number line will be 30. So that will be the answer. Okay, questions? Right, what's the time now? 4 minutes. Okay, I really want to finish this up. So last one, question 4. Okay, sorry, question 4 is in exercise 2B, page 44. A very short question, but provides a lot of information. yourself questions. Okay, ask yourself questions that will help yourself in breaking down the question. Okay. So taking a look at question 4 now, it says that the sum of 3 consecutive integers is less than 75. So this phrase itself contains a lot of information. But we always start with defining what is x. So let x be what? What do we let x be in this particular question? What do you think? I choose someone. My friends is not here. Matthias. Whoa. Too excited. Yes, it is. Let x be what? Where is now I give for it? Or am I wrong here? Why you want it to be in between? What does the question want you to find? Why make your life so difficult? The question wants us to find the cube of the largest possible integer. Why you want it to be in between them of the 3 integers? Why cannot be the smallest or the largest? What does the question want? Yeah, so why not we let x be the largest? Isn't that easier? Okay, it won't be easier, I'll show it to you later on. Okay, so we let x be the largest possible integer. Okay, for your attempt, I'll give you 5 points like this. Okay, so x be the largest possible integer. Okay, then we need to think about what is the 3 consecutive integers. I thought you said no talking. Okay, so consecutive integers means continuous, like 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, okay, continuous. So if I have x being the largest already, what is the number that's below or smaller than it? Yes.
X minus 1, X minus 1.
Yes, okay, x minus 1, x minus 2. Alright? I'm thankful that, okay, Kenny didn't tell me w, okay, because w, x, y, z is x minus 1. Alright? Or maybe what comes before w? It's u, v, b. Okay, so I hope nobody thinks that way. Alright? We go in the alphabetical order. Right? You might find it funny because, but in reality, got people tell me that one. Okay, I ask what's the number before x? W. What's the number before n? M. I have written. Okay, so x minus 1 and x minus 2. Okay? So we want the sum, therefore we will add them up. Okay, so x minus 2 plus x minus 1 plus x. Okay, and this sum is less than 75. Okay, so therefore the inequality sign that we'll use is clearly less than 75. Okay, so this one upon opening our brackets, we get this, which simplifies to 3x minus 3 less than 75. Okay, and then solve it. Get x less than 78 divided by 3, which is x less than 26.